My name is Amanda, and I'm a 28-year-old editor at a famous fashion magazine. My husband Zion, 35, is the next president of the large company his father runs. Zion and I first met on a New York City street corner 5 years ago. Back then, I was still a new editor struggling to make my way. One afternoon, I was hurrying to work when I bumped into Zion, scattering my papers everywhere. As I frantically tried to gather them, Zion flashed me a kind smile and helped me pick everything up. Our eyes met in that moment and we felt an instant, powerful connection. Zion asked me out to dinner after that, and slowly but surely, we grew closer. I was increasingly drawn to his kindness and gentlemanly manner. Then a year ago, we got married and have been enjoying a blissful life together. One day, I was sitting on the sofa at home with Zion. With slightly trembling hands, I picked up an envelope from my OBGYN. "Let's look together," I said softly. Zion nodded, clasping my hand tightly. We took a deep breath, then opened it to find an ultrasound photo and test results inside. "It's a girl," I cried out joyfully. Zion broke into a huge grin and embraced me. "Thank you, Amanda. Our darling little girl. I can't wait to see your face. Daddy already loves you so much." We held each other, savoring our happiness as the room filled with an atmosphere of pure joy. "We have to tell our parents. They'll be thrilled," I said, smiling. But Zion's expression darkened a little. "Do you think Mom will be happy about it?" Zion's mother, Hazel, holds conservative views and believes in male superiority. "It'll be fine. I'm sure she'll love our daughter," I said brightly. That weekend, Zion and I visited Hazel's house. As we had tea in the living room, I shared our big news. "Mother, we've been blessed with a baby. It's a girl." Hazel's face instantly clouded over. "A girl? The successor to the company has to be a boy." "Mom, times have changed," Zion interjected. "Be quiet," Hazel yelled. "A girl who can't be the successor is useless." With that, she tried to kick me in the stomach right in front of my eyes. Shocked, I protectively placed my hands over my belly. "Mother!" Zion shouted, shielding me. Hazel glared at us, shaking with rage. "The company's successor must be a boy. I won't accept a girl." Tears welled up in my eyes as I clung to Zion's arm. He stared at his mother sternly. "That's enough, Mother. We're leaving," he declared. We left Hazel's house in silence. The moment we got in the car, I broke down sobbing. Zion held me tenderly. "It's okay. We'll protect our daughter. Don't let Mother's words get to you." After leaving Hazel's, Zion and I had a heart-to-heart. "Mom just needs a little more time. I know once she sees our baby girl's face, she'll open her heart," he assured me. I decided to believe in his words. As the pregnancy progressed, Zion and I gradually adapted to our new life. I continued working while prioritizing the baby's health, taking on duties within reason. Zion started proactively helping out at home, making breakfast so I could relax a bit, tidying up before heading to work, giving his full support however he could. He'd even come home early from the office sometimes. "Take it easy, Amanda. Your health is the most important thing," he'd say, sweetly caring for me. I was deeply grateful for his dedication. Around 5 months into the pregnancy, my belly started getting noticeably bigger. "Today's the day we hear the baby's heartbeat," Zion said excitedly. At the hospital, when we heard our child's robust heartbeat for the first time, we were at a loss for words, overcome with emotion. "Beloved daughter, Mommy and Daddy are here," Zion spoke to my stomach. I instinctively squeezed his hand, my heart full of joy. Zion's support bordered on overboard at times. One weekend, fretting over my growing belly, he spent the whole day shopping and cleaning. But feeling my body getting sluggish from just sitting, I suggested, "I appreciate it, Zion. But why don't we go for a little walk together? Moderate exercise is important." He agreed, if a bit hesitant. We strolled through a neighborhood park, enjoying the peaceful time together. Our bond as a couple deepened along with our preparations for the baby. Unfortunately, Hazel's attitude didn't improve at all. She harassed us with relentless calls to Zion's office and late-night visits to our home. One day, Hazel showed up at my workplace and began screaming in front of my colleagues. "This woman is a useless fool who can't give us a successor." Humiliated and furious, I turned bright red as I escorted her out of the building. "Please stop this, Mother. I'm proud to be having a daughter," I pleaded tearfully. But Hazel glared down at me coldly. "We don't need a girl. If you can't bear a successor, then get out of this family," she declared. On another occasion, Hazel barged into a meeting at my office. "Amanda, you're still working here?" she yelled. I tried to respond calmly despite being flustered. "Mother, I intend to balance work and childrearing. I haven't started maternity leave yet, but I'll take time off when appropriate. You needn't worry." But Hazel refused to listen. "You became worthless the moment you conceived a girl. Quit your job immediately," she said, getting emotional. I fought to maintain my composure, but couldn't stop tears from rolling down my cheeks. Just then, my boss intervened. "Ma'am, this is a workplace. Please leave at once," he said, escorting Hazel out of the room. Of course, I told Zion about what happened. He was distraught over his mother's behavior, but desperate to protect me. He called Hazel right away. "Enough already, Mom. Amanda is my cherished wife nurturing our child during this crucial time. Is it really so hard to love your granddaughter just because she's a girl?" But Hazel wouldn't heed her son's words. In fact, her abnormal conduct only escalated from there. One day, Amanda came home from work to find the house ransacked. Fine china was smashed, furniture badly scratched. And on the living room table was a note, "Give us a boy." Hazel had also somehow obtained the contact info for Amanda's friends and was harassing them too. She bombarded them with comments like, "Amanda acts high and mighty but can't even bear a son," and "You should cut ties with Amanda." She was especially relentless in calling Amanda's best friend Jessica. "You're friends with Amanda, right? Can't you convince her to quit her job? There's no future for a woman who births a girl. She simply must have a boy." Jessica immediately let me know and reported Hazel's remarks. She reassured me, "You've done nothing wrong, Amanda. We're all on your side." When Zion found out about Hazel's actions, he tried reasoning with her again. "How can you be so cruel, Mom? What you're doing is deeply wounding not only Amanda, but the baby too." But Hazel wouldn't listen. "The moment you learned it was a girl, that child became useless to me," she said coldly. Zion was devastated. Hazel's abnormal behavior grew more serious by the day. We even considered contacting the police. But because she was family, we were determined to keep seeking a resolution through discussion until the very end. That said, the stress from Hazel took an increasing toll on my already fragile health during pregnancy. Unable to bear her behavior, I sometimes broke down in tears, asking, "How did it come to this? Our daughter is coming into this world to be loved." In those moments, Zion was always there to comfort me. "Amanda, you've done nothing wrong. The problem lies with Mom. Let's cherish our daughter. Surely the day will come when Mom understands too." Then one day, Hazel visited our home with a shocking suggestion. "Amanda, if you can give birth to a boy, I'll accept you. So abort the child in your womb right now and get pregnant with a boy." I was stunned. Hazel was imposing her own values, even threatening the life of her own granddaughter. I felt an inexpressible sadness. Trembling with rage, Zion told his mother, "Enough, Mom. I've realized I can't change your thinking. But we're having this girl. Even if you don't accept her, we're still a family." Hazel seemed displeased by the determination in her son's eyes. Without a word, she left our house. Time passed and my due date approached. The conflict with Hazel remained unresolved, but Zion and I continued peacefully preparing to welcome our daughter. 3 days before my due date, I noticed contractions starting. Zion frantically called the hospital and helped me into the car. "Take deep breaths, Amanda. We'll be at the hospital soon," he said, desperately encouraging me as he drove. Upon arriving, I was immediately admitted. Zion held my hand tightly. "You're strong. I'm always on your side." After a long labor, I gave birth to a healthy baby girl. The moment the obstetrician placed her in my arms, I couldn't stop crying. "Hello, beloved daughter. Welcome to the world." Zion was speechless with emotion. "Thank you, Amanda. You're the best wife and mother." We named our daughter Aria. She became our treasure, the center of our family. As for Hazel, she showed no signs of celebrating Aria's birth. She didn't visit the hospital or respond to our attempts to contact her. A few days after coming home, Hazel came to our house. "May I see my grandchild?" she asked coldly. Though wary, Zion let his mother in. Hazel entered the living room where I was sitting holding Aria. "Mother, it's been a while. This is Aria, your granddaughter." Looking down at her, Hazel's expression was icy. So it was a girl after all. In the end, no successor was born. Zion raised his voice. Enough already, Mom. Arya is our precious daughter. With a sardonic smile, Hazel said, "That's all well and good. But this child has no value to your company." I trembled with anger, but Zion placed a hand on my shoulder to calm me. Hazel continued, "As far as I'm concerned, this child and I have no connection. I never want to see her again." Zion took a deep breath and faced his mother. "Mom, are you sure about that? Because this child's true identity is..." Hazel waved her hand dismissively. "True identity? What are you talking about? A girl has no value." With a resolute expression, Zion said, "Mom, don't you know about grandfather's will?" At those words, Hazel furrowed her brow. "Will? What do you mean?" Zion quietly began to explain. Grandfather rejected male chauvinism and deliberately left a will bequeathing his assets to a female heir. In other words, Arya is the legitimate successor to the company. Hazel listened in disbelief. "That's absurd. To think father left such a will." Zion continued, "Mom, times have changed. Grandfather strongly desired to see gender equality realized." Suddenly, Hazel's demeanor shifted. "Ah, I see. You're right. It's an age of gender equality now. So Arya will be the successor. Well then, I'll have to dote on her." Zion and I stared at Hazel with a mix of shock and anger. He raised his voice, "Mom, you rejected your granddaughter until just now, and now you're conveniently changing your tune." Hazel made excuses in a flustered manner. "No, that's not it. I've had a change of heart. From now on, I'll love Arya." I gave a cold smile and declared, "Mother, you said you wanted nothing to do with this child. As you wish, you will have absolutely no involvement with the assets Arya inherits." Hazel turned pale, at a loss for words. Zion added sternly, "Mom, you rejected Arya and deeply wounded Amanda. Someone like that has no right to have a say in our daughter's inheritance." Desperately, Hazel tried to justify herself. "That's not. I actually do love Arya." I looked at her coldly. "Love her? Mother, what you've done to us can't be called love. Hurting our daughter then changing your stance based on selfish interests is shameful." In a firm tone, Zion said, "Mom, Arya's assets are her own. I'm sorry, but we won't allow you any involvement. That's our answer to the awful way you've treated us." Hazel was speechless, collapsing on the spot. Icily, I declared, "I can't forgive you, Mother. Please leave this house at once." Hazel shakily stood. "Fine. I get it." Leaving those words behind, she left our home. Zion embraced me. "Amanda, you did the right thing. Mom needs to face her own mistakes." 5 years later, Arya had grown into an energetic 5-year-old girl. With adorable curly blonde hair and striking big blue eyes, She was the apple of our eye as Zion and I delighted in our happy, fulfilling days with her. Arya was full of curiosity, loving to read picture books and play in the park. One day, her kindergarten held sports day practice. Arya was chosen to run a race and trained hard. But some kids had trouble running, putting them out of sync. Arya stood up. Let's all do our best together. Don't leave any friends behind, let's all reach the goal. Her bright words seemed to encourage the other children. The teachers were impressed by Arya's leadership too. That's our Arya. Becoming a big sister who looks out for everyone. She smiled shyly at the praise. We watched Arya grow up healthy, cherishing and nurturing her potential. We could never forget Hazel's horrible actions, but it was healing for us to see our daughter becoming such a cheerful, sweet-natured child. 15 more years passed. Arya had matured into a beautiful, intelligent 20-year-old woman. I was promoted to editor-in-chief of the fashion magazine, while Zion succeeded his father as CEO. Arya interned at her father's company while still in college and was officially welcomed as a member of the firm upon graduation. She was assigned to the corporate strategy department, where she quickly demonstrated her skills despite her young age. One day, Zion consulted Arya about the company's future. You are the one who will carry this company forward. The day will come, not too long from now, when you'll be at the helm, he said proudly of his daughter's growth. Nodding thoughtfully at her father's words, Arya declared with conviction, Dad, I will grow this company into a global enterprise. And I'll make it a company where anyone can thrive, upholding the principle of gender equality. That's my dream. Zion's eyes crinkled at Arya's proclamation as he gripped her shoulder firmly. If anyone can do it, it's you. I'll support your dream with everything I've got. 20 years ago, Hazel's prejudice and discrimination caused me and my family great pain. But we overcame those hardships and deepened our bonds. Amidst this, Amanda and Zion's wedding anniversary arrived. To express her gratitude to her parents, Arya personally planned a commemorative dinner. Mom, Dad, today is a special day for you too, so I'm going to be your host, she announced happily, as Zion and Amanda smiled sentimentally at their daughter's growth. The dinner table was adorned with mementos of Amanda and Zion's life together, carefully arranged by Arya. Their wedding photo, a drawing of the family Arya made as a child, a recent picture of the three of them. Mom, Dad, I'm so happy I was born into this family. Thanks to your protection, I can pursue my dreams, Arya said, bringing tears to her parents' eyes. We were able to persevere because we had you, Arya. Your smile is our source of strength, Zion said, clasping his daughter's hand. You are our pride and joy, Amanda added. The trio clinked glasses, savoring their happy moment. The bonds of this family that had overcome such hardship held a strength that could weather any adversity. A few years later, I heard some concerning news about Hazel from my best friend Jessica. Amanda, I saw Hazel in town the other day, and she seemed a bit off, Jessica said, making me furrow my brow. Off how? She was wearing dirty clothes and her hair was a mess. She looked like a homeless person. I tried to talk to her, but the moment she saw my face, she ran off like she was trying to escape. I was left with mixed feelings upon hearing Jessica's account. I couldn't hide my shock at how much my former mother-in-law had changed. I also heard from an acquaintance of Zion's that while Hazel was living alone, she often fell behind on rent. She's living on a pension and seems to have no money. But she's too proud to rely on anyone. The acquaintance continued, I heard she was even caught shoplifting at the supermarket by a security guard recently. She must be struggling to afford food. Taken together, these stories painted a picture of Hazel being driven into a corner both financially and emotionally. Learning of her current state, I was at a loss for words. Zion also seemed shocked, saying, I can't believe this is happening to Mom. What can we do? I mused aloud, but Zion shook his head. Amanda, I appreciate your sentiment, but Mom badly hurt you and Arya back then. That's not something I can easily forgive, even now. Though conflicted, I had to agree with Zion's view. Without knowing if Hazel had reflected on her past mistakes, we couldn't simply reach out. More than anything, I myself hadn't fully forgiven her treatment of me. Still, it makes me sad somehow, I said. While accepting my feelings, Zion encouraged me not to lose hope. I'm disappointed about Mom too. But we need to focus on our own lives. Being there for Arya's future, fulfilling our dreams together, that's what matters most. I smiled at Zion's forward-looking perspective. You're right. We have Arya. For our daughter's sake, I need to stay strong. Zion nodded resolutely. Exactly. The three of us will join forces and keep living happily. Just then, Arya entered the room. Mom, Dad, what are you talking about? I smiled at her tenderly. We were just saying how glad we are to have you, Arya. And how we want to keep making happy memories with you. She gave an embarrassed but joyful grin. Then Zion piped up, all right, let's all go out for a delicious dinner tonight. Where's that restaurant you love, Arya? The Italian place with the yummy pasta, she answered brightly. Our daughter's innocent smile soothed us, allowing us to forget our troubles for a while. It's decided then. Let's go eat a ton. With Zion's rallying cry, we started walking toward a bright future.